Get your hands on a Gin and Tonic G&T box. Head over to the website, that is jimandtonic.com, and enter the promo code BLACKINK for an exclusive 10% discount on your order. Gin and Tonic, sustainable urban gin.
Hi Thanyia, thank you for joining us on Black Ink Cinema podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you on. I recently saw you on Black, British and Funny, which I loved. How was that?
Amazing. It was such a really good... I just think we need like a 3-parter. I don't think that was enough.
I felt a little bit robbed, I'm not going to lie. I was like wanting a bit more, and it was like,
It was a good depiction of the scene from way back then. So we had a lot of, old school history and all that stuff. But then there was nothing to bring us forward. It was just like a little spotlight on viral comedy, and then that's it. But there's so much more to our scene that I think that we definitely need 2 or 3 more hours of this documentary.
I totally agree with you. Watching it and also growing up in it, I always just thought like that was the norm. I thought everyone knew about the Black British comedy scene. And then you quickly realise you're like, oh no, it's just a small group of people. And so like these people are so well known. They're a part of your life. Like you laugh with them every other weekend. And it's like the rest of the world doesn't know.
They don't get it. The rest of the world don't understand.
So tell us a little bit about your comedy journey, how you got into comedy.
Comedy is probably the last thing that I got into when it comes to the stage. I actually just stopped dancing for a little bit, and I was missing the stage. Yeah, I used to be a dancer.
I saw that on your Instagram. I was snooping. Yeah. Like I saw the moves. I love that. Yeah,
man. So I really, really enjoyed that era of my life. I really still like more. And I've been doing drama since I was 6. I've been doing acting stuff since I was 6. So I just got to a stage in my life where I was like, I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to find something new to do. Yeah. And I saw a comedy course, and then I was like, oh, let's just try comedy. Let's see what happens.
Love that.
And now here we are. Yeah.
A real performing arts all-rounder.
Just an attention seeker. But you had a nice way of saying... That was a very nice, polite way of saying it, Rachel.
No, it wasn't. I promise. No, I love it. Like, you've got all the talent. Are you doing a bit of dance at the moment? Because I think it's a real good way to keep fit. But
yeah, I do classes online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I used to teach them as well, but that's too much time. I can't.
I was about to say, like, sign me up. I need to... Quarantine has got me locked down. I don't know how to dance anymore.
I did it throughout the first one, and whilst it was really nice, and it like held me accountable for getting up and working out and making sure I get that bit in for my day. Do you know what I mean? But because I already have a career, you have to put 100% into these things.
Of course, it's very time consuming.
Right, and I just don't even have time for it. And then it was getting to a point where I was getting like anxious because I was like, classes tomorrow, I haven't done anything, and I was like, okay, I have to put this down for a little bit because I'm driving myself crazy.
Yeah, and I guess it was supposed to be more fun and something enjoyable to keep you busy, and then it became a bit of a chore, which is not what you wanted to do.
Exactly. So now I just look for other people who do it and just go to their classes. Do that. Yeah.
Exactly. So obviously we've just got into second lockdown, RIP my life. But have you had to postpone any shows or anything that you had coming up?
Yeah, I've had a couple of live gigs postponed, but I already had online gigs booked in. So
that's good.
Remain. Yeah, it's nice because I think there's a new way of doing things now. People are doing a lot of stuff online, which is really nice. So they stay in. The other gigs are postponed, but we don't know if they're ever coming back.
What are these projects that you can talk about?
A week soon, and I really want to continue doing that. Do you know?
Yeah, no, that's a good gig. Sure. Oh, that's awesome. I guess like me, everyone's just looking forward to 2021 and hopefully it's a better start.
Yeah. I still believe 2021 is going to start in about April. I don't think we're going to have...
To be fair, yeah.
I feel sorry for my sister. Her birthday, it's her 30th birthday in December.
Oh.
One half of me feels sad for her. The other half of me was like, well, that's what you get for infiltrating my birthday month.
Oh, is it your birthday as well?
Yeah, I'm 20th and she's the 7th.
Oh, wow.
She came after me, but then her birthday's before mine. You know that way? Like there was no respect at all. She didn't ask me nothing. She just came.
She stole. That is so unfair.
I feel sad for your 30th.
I'm the sort of person, I celebrate my birthday throughout the whole month. And just having, if I had a sibling in the same month, it would be quite rude.
Now I only get like 13 days of celebration before, and I'm already fighting Christmas. Like, we're already fighting.
You are already fighting Christmas, like, in between. Oh God. Okay. Oh, well, happy early birthday, I'll say for now. And
thank you.
It goes well. So we're here to celebrate all things Black cinema, and you chose one of my favorite films of all time, What's Love Got to Do with It, with the hot mama and absolute queen, Angela Bassett, starring Laurence Fishburne. Why What's Love Got to Do with It?
Do you know, it's the first movie I watched that made me think, I'm going to do this. I want to do acting. Yeah. I want to do this. And strong Black cast, strong female lead. It was just all of the things, positive, inviting, uplifting, things that we didn't normally see when you watch a movie. You know, you've always got to have, if there was a Black girl in the movie before, she'd be like the friend or the goofy friend or the angry friend. Right? I'm so over this word sassy, I can't even get into it.
Oh, honey.
Oh, God. Oh.
They love to throw that word at me. And I'm like,
stop being sassy. Like, no, you're not. That's not even a thing.
Yeah.
What is that?
They're basically trying to say you're being feisty, but just in a nicer way.
Yeah. Or they're trying to say stop being like a Black girl. Stop doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, babes.
Yeah. And I actually play my sassiness down. So
Oh no, I don't. But when they call it sassy, I say, I'm not being sassy, I'm just being Thanyia. Can you stop?
Stop it.
Can you? Yeah, you got to use their words on them. Stop putting me in a box. Stop fencing me in.
I'm going to use that next time, I promise you. I'm just going to think of you as well.
I'm just Thanyia. Stop trying to put me in places.
Yeah. One of the things I loved about the film is how it showed like the growth of Tina's character in there, and how she starts off very innocent and vulnerable and kind of lost almost, doesn't really know who she is, and kind of waits for people's affirmations. And then by the end of it, she's like this strong, you know,
powerful.
Obviously it takes a life, you know, a lifetime, but it's really nice to see that in a film, because most times it's just doom and gloom, and it's just like it ends tragically and you're heartbroken. So it was really uplifting to see, like, you know, she went through hell, but she came out of it, and, you know,
so many scenes that are so poignant for me. Like even just the opening scene where it's, you know, you can see her go on her way to church and she's looking out and you can just see the scenery of where she lived, and then you get to the church, it's like this desolate little building, as Black folk do. We find somewhere and we just praise it forever, you know, and it's just this wonderfulness of her, excuse my manners, trying to sing and then getting the opportunity to sing, and then non-stop singing. Do you know what I mean? And then it's sad to see the singing brings her to this really horrible place in her life, which should have been a really lovely time in her life.
Experience,
But it was clouded by so much hurt and pain and, do you know what I mean? Just horribleness. And then the singing also made her find her strength. It's just so amazing how it took her through this journey. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. And it's almost like, would we have that Tina if she hadn't gone through that?
Right.
It's a scary thought.
would we have Beyonce?
Would we have Beyonce?
Right. Because I genuinely think Beyonce is definitely, I mean, you know, she says she idolizes Tina, but I definitely think she's like, you get Tina's like the mum and then Beyonce's the daughter. That in singing world, that's how I see them.
100%.
You know what I mean? So would we have Beyonce? That's mad.
Exactly.
Who would Beyonce follow? Would she be more like Grace Jones now? Like, where would we be?
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Where would we be?
Models herself completely on Tina, even down to earlier on in her career, like she didn't really try to do, you know, we consider her as doing Black music, but her music is very pop. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And that's what Tina was trying to do, like just trying to do the rock thing and not just be put in a box of doing R&B. Wanted to kind of hit that world of rock and roll and pop. And so you saw her very successfully, even later in her life, which was like post-40, which is just in itself amazing. And so you could see Beyonce just try to like emulate that and obviously
take
very
it to new levels.
Exactly. Able to build upon that, which is so nice to see. You were talking about the beginning there, and I felt that scene when she sees her mum leaving her with her daughter and her sister, and that abandonment I felt was very key to show, because it's one of the reasons why she held on to stuck around, I guess, in that abusive relationship environment,
and
because
she ended up looking after the kids that weren't even hers. Because remember, the mum, his previous baby mother, dropped off the kids.
Yeah, because she says in the film. Yeah, she says in the film, you know, I know how it is to be left, and I'd never do that. And that just it broke my heart.
Really, really, really the same for me. I mean, my mum has a similar thing, because she, you know, like, I don't know, you know, in our culture, the kids get left to the parents and come over and set up, and then the kids come later. We don't think about the abandonment that child feels in that moment, regardless of whether you're left with an auntie, a relative, or a friend. There's still an abandonment moment that's felt. So my mum, she came over here. She's a nurse youth worker, helps all the kids, you know, all of the kids. There's been, all of my life, there's been times where there's just kids just sleeping in my house because on the street, or they come to my house. Do you know what I mean? And so I really resonated with that, just in that whole, my mum's the same way. She would just take in anyone's kids because she doesn't like that feeling of abandonment. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I could definitely relate and understand. And I think sometimes we think we've gotten past certain things, but obviously behaviors like that, you know, like your mum, you know, trying to make sure someone else feels secure within themselves and feels that love is so important. And so then we end up, you know, trying to compensate for that.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes even in that compensation, we might get it right, we might get it wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that we have to work through, you know? And it was crazy to watch Tina work through it in different ways. Like, the first time he hit her, I was like, yeah, she's leaving, she's out. And that was nothing.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt like watching it as well, you just think, okay, it can't get any worse. But it's like he ups it every time. Like
every time.
You know
the rate in the booth when people were, man.
That scene, that rape scene, because, and I keep saying to people, like, it took me a very long time to forgive Laurence Fishburne for playing that character.
I'm the same. I hated him for ages.
Forever. Like, I don't think I couldn't see past, I don't care. I mean, he took up until Morpheus, like, and even then I was still a bit like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I like this guy. I don't know. That's the best bit. It wasn't even him. We didn't even hate Ike. I'd go for drinks with Ike, you know. It was Laurence.
Still now, I don't even know who, you know, Ike. I couldn't point him out to you, but Laurence Fishburne playing Ike is probably one of the most terrifying things I ever saw on telly.
And this is how messed up the system is, that he definitely deserved something for that. He deserved... And he had to get bodyguards because he was having death threats and all sorts. He had to go... Yeah. When you watch his interviews and stuff, he played the role so well that people actually ended up looking at him as Ike. 100%. And then he would get attacked and he would get all the things. Ike's swanning in pubs, just having a good time. Laurence is suffering. Had to buy security guards because he's done such a good job. He deserves an award. He deserves one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it apparently he said in interviews that it took him years for Black women to stop giving him the evil eye. And he's just playing a role. And that year he didn't win Best Actor for leading role or Angela Bassett. And his one went to Tom Hanks playing Philadelphia, which is an amazing film. It's Tom. But Holly Hunter won for piano instead of Angela. And I'm still pissed at them for that. I'm sorry.
Holly Hunter shouldn't win anything, okay?
Savage.
Don't get me wrong. I think she's really good. But that performance in What's Love Got to Do with it? I could be doing rape scenes and then cut and start again and then cut and start again with the same passion all the time. And then you got to think about what she went through. Remember, we watched the film, but as an actor, we know them scenes are shot over and over and over again. Angela Bassett continuously throwing herself on the floor.
It was, honestly, I felt it to the core. You know, even the small bits when she tries to run away on the bus and he finds her. And that scene, I still feel the anxiety. And the way he like taps the back of her head, like to get her in the car, like in a muggy, even that little act was so infuriating for me. It was so like
triggering. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not your child. Like, who are you hitting on the back of the head? Like
that moment when she was trying to get the kids out the house and being quiet about it. And then kids being kids, they're like, where are we going? And she's like, shh. Even I was like, shut up! Stop talking! It's so emotional.
I was screaming, shut up at the screen. It's like, they can't hear you. And I was like, be quiet! Be quiet, it's gonna hear you. I was stressed.
She's becoming free. She's becoming free.
Yeah.
And then when he found her, and then even down to like her mom, this is the problem sometimes with our culture. The desire to have money and nice things is greater than the need to be a parent. Why in the world would you let your daughter stay in a situation like that?
And Jennifer Lewis as well played that role too good, okay? Because she made me mad. She made me mad as hell. It was just like that selfish, mean mum.
Yeah.
Who was just like, well, you got money and clothes, so what are you complaining about? It's like,
right.
Really? Your child is calling you in the middle of the night for her life, and you, okay, that was...
Yeah. That was hard. But then it wasn't, I mean, we shouldn't even have been shocked from the beginning she was doing it wrong.
Yes.
Because when I walked into her house, she questioned the age group, didn't she? The age gap. And then once he paid her, the age gap no longer became an issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she was all a bit tough. And that scene where she puts the money in her bra, it's almost like that's where Ike bought Tina. From that point onwards, it was like a transfer of ownership. This is
the thing. He knew he had her at that point, because if the mum is allowing this to happen and there's no father in place,
and no one to have her back and have her corner, and that's how predators prey. They prey on the vulnerable and the people that they think won't have anyone to kind of fight for them.
Right. Such a sad scene.
So sad. There's a lot of Tina has said there's been a few inaccuracies in the film and has publicly kind of said so, even though I thought that she was... I thought
she was behind it. Yeah, she was a part of it because her name's on it.
Yeah, exactly. So do you think that kind of takes away a little bit from the essence of the movie?
I think not for me. I think I definitely would buy into the idea that some scenes may have been ramped up because of Hollywood, right? You know, they take a real story and then they put Hollywood on it and it turns into like a blockbuster. Yeah. So I imagine that one or two things possibly would have been maybe added scenes, you know, just to give context to certain things, possibly aware of that. Do I think that her life wasn't like that? No, I think her life was very much like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she did go through those things with Ike. I think maybe he wasn't such a monster, but that's for the film, right? Who knows? But domestic violence is domestic violence, regardless of how you play it. Exactly. And we have to be mindful that sometimes Tina might still be a victim. She might think that domestic violence is still normal, so we don't want to make him look too bad. You know, that whole thing of,
and she's
not wanting their person to look too bad or get in too much trouble, or do you know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is a really serious crime here.
Yeah, and that's what she's gone on to say, is that she didn't like her portrayal as a victim. And maybe she was for a little bit, but, you know, she wanted to be there and she put herself there. And it was just a bit like, just even hearing that in itself is a bit like, honey.
She's still a victim. Yeah. She still doesn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that comes with a little bit of delusion and just trying to maybe put yourself out of, I guess when you're in it, you can't really see how bad something is. And yeah.
And by the time she was having that interview, probably she was new Tina and wanted to just always be seen as new, strong Tina.
Yes. I didn't want to be seen as a victim.
Anime. She didn't want us to know what she went through. She didn't, do you know what I mean? She's fought over that now. She's in this new space. Stop bringing it up. Kind of thing. Exactly. I do genuinely believe that, you know, you went through it, babes, and you are a victim and you need to hold that so you can move from it properly.
Yeah, and you can see because her reinvention of herself as well, probably trying to separate the two from sound and the way she looks as well, was very evident in the way that she wanted to separate herself from that person as a victim to who she is now. I mean, she should be proud of herself. At least she got out and was able to reinvent herself and become, you know, even a bigger superstar and continue a legacy. To be a living legend, you know, we have a living legend, which is so rare these days. They usually die quite early. So I think she should be more, you know, wear it on a...
Proud of her accomplishment. Yeah, I would as well. I'd wear it as a badge of honor. And she's still looking after those boys that their mum's gone. She's still looking after them boys as though they're her children. You are literally a walking medal. Yeah. Be it in all of its glory. All of it.
Exactly. And we spoke about domestic violence there, and I don't know, like that genuinely traumatized me when I watched it as a young girl, because I was just so, I hadn't seen anything like that on telly. Do you feel like it was too harsh, or that we needed to see that level of violence to fully understand?
See, that's the thing now, because we say that, is it too harsh? But too harsh for who? Because in and around our communities, that was a regular occurrence anyway. So would it have been too harsh for me growing up in New Cross, being around that kind of environment anyway? No. Would it have been too harsh for Billy, who lives in the Shires? Probably. But Billy didn't watch it, so it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do, you know, there's we always get to that point where it's like, what is enough? What's too much? And I just think, for me personally, I think if it's a part of real life, it's never too much.
Yeah.
It's just honesty, right? There was an age on it. So if you were watching it and you weren't of age, i.e. me, that's your business. Yeah. You didn't follow the rules,
I was not.
then that's your business. Yeah, exactly.
That's on me. I can't blame anyone for that.
Being fast in business that we were supposed to be in. Okay.
Who told you to watch it? Who told you to watch it? Like, why?
I want to cry about Laurence.
Now I'm vexed. Now I'm vexed at Laurence. He wasn't. I had no business watching it.
Exactly. Now I'm not accepting love letters from guys in my primary school. There was none of my business being there, right? But I do believe that we do need to just stop making the world seem like it's all roses. It's not. It's not 2.4. There is a whole world out there that people are experiencing things. And this is why you get people who are so deluded in real life, because they follow TV so much. They don't realize TV's fake.
Yeah.
You know, it's only now that we've got these like reality shows and you're loving hip hops and stuff that we're really starting to see what real life can actually be. Do you know what I mean? It's not, I don't think it's such a thing as too soon. I do believe that, there should be an age limit on things, which we already have. But I don't know if it was too soon. I don't know. I don't know if you remember back in the day, The Sun was the first newspaper to print a picture of a child who overdosed. And it was a girl in the corner of her room and she was slumped and there was like a needle that had rolled from her arm.
Oh my God, no.
And it was the first time they did it because they wanted to stop children from trying drugs. Let me tell you, it worked on me, okay?
Do you know what? I had something similar with one in the textbook at school. There was a girl, she died, she took like drugs on her 18th birthday and they took a picture of her in the hospital and her family were like, we want to share this so other kids don't do this. And I tell you what, it worked, okay?
I'm telling you.
I'm like so anti-drugs like that. I'm just like, no, it's fine. I don't even have the curiosity. I don't need to find out. I don't need to know. It's fine. Because I will be that 1%, and I'm not.
That's what I said. I said, I ain't got time for my mum to see me on the front of the Sun. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for mum to be buying newspapers and seeing her daughter. I ain't got time.
Because you know mum will be vexed. She'll be vexed that you knew better. She'll be like, you stupid. Yeah.
Not even that. She'll be vexed because it's the Sun, not the Guardian. Do you know what I mean? Vexed.
You're trash.
I need a better newspaper.
Yeah, at least.
Right? But nah, definitely. So I think it's one of those ones where it's like some things need to be shared. We need to start having these conversations. We need to normalize these things. People don't feel awkward even when reporting it. We need to have these moments so, you know, people feel good in their skin, know what's right, know what's wrong. And then when they are reporting it, don't feel like they're being a nuisance. It's important.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe there's a line, but I don't think anything's ever too soon if it's happening in real life, you know?
Yeah, and I think it was as a young woman was watching that, I was like, whoa, it really opened my eyes to like, and it was the psychological side of it as well, like the things he would say, how he would manipulate her. And every time I watch it, it's like I hear another new line that I hadn't paid attention to. And I'm just like, oh, God, he's good. Oh, my God, this is the devil.
Good. So good. Making her think she's going to go out there and start a whole new life. The thing is, when you get older, you start to realize he got more and more aggressive when he realized she was the star.
Yes. It was jealousy. It was jealous, which is...
She didn't need him. Yeah. Oh, men and their jealousy. Listen, I'm convinced, that's why some men, their beards don't connect because they're jealous and they're fucking liars. That's why the beard doesn't connect. Your beard is letting me know you ain't it, my friend. Okay? That's what I know. That's why your beard's
your
rising.
You're bad mind. That's why.
The beard is letting us know. We have to read the beards. Okay. I believe it.
Basically, go for guys with full beards. You know.
They don't lie.
Okay. Noted. I do beard gang, so that's totally fine.
You gotta be, if there's patches, he lies. Trust me.
Okay.
So also one good thing, a couple good things, but this movie brought about some of the best dance routines. I mean, if you don't, girl, if you don't do this
every time, without fail. If I hear that song come on, I am in position.
It's the best thing.
I even dressed up as Tina. Was it last Halloween? The gold sequence.
Gold shimmy.
I was in my element. I was like, that's my bitch. Yeah. She's my woman.
I need to do that. I always miss Halloween.
I know. The thing is, obviously, growing up, mum's like, that's evil. You're not allowed to celebrate Halloween. And so my way of like doing it is just keeping it light and airy, you know. Playing Tina is fine. You know, I'm not walking around with it.
I like this new generation of dressing up as somebody instead of dressing up as like a ghost or a witch or something like that.
Exactly. They're just
I like
that. And it's more about just celebrating.
I like this new spin that we've got on it. But when it comes to also the sister. Yeah. There were so many people that failed her.
So
his backing singer,
many people
got pregnant by him, who was his girlfriend on the log. There was so many people that failed her. Even his right-hand man, the chubbier one.
Oh, you know what? Men need to take accountability in that situation. If me as a man, I see my mate, my best friend, my Cody, my homie, beating his woman like that, and I don't step in as a man to do something, it made me so sick. Like watching it this time round, I was watching everyone else and what they were doing. And in that rape scene, just before you could see, certain people started walking out of the room. So they were already anticipating where this was going. They knew, Ike's on one of his trips. He's gonna wild out.
Yeah.
And it was just like they kind of just left her there to deal with it. Like they want to be there to enjoy the good stuff, but they don't want to be there to kind of protect her, which it was just so, it broke my heart. And I've got sisters, and for me, I dare you.
Listen, because you can't. It's just even right now, the thought of it, we're getting vexed. I couldn't even.
So vexed, so angry.
I couldn't even imagine actually being in the moment.
Yeah,
like, I just couldn't even. That scene when they were in the cafe and he put the birthday cake in it, like, eat it. And every time that guy kept saying to him, "You don't have to do this, man. You don't have to do this." It's like, it's that moment of back in the day. There really was that only one in moment. So there was one, black person who was really famous and had lots of money, and everyone around them was so happy to be in the lifestyle of not needing money.
Yes,
they were willing to ignore everything else. Yeah, so he's, an abuser, he's aggressive, he's a rapist. I would say he's a child molester because every time he had a new girlfriend, she was younger and younger.
1,000,000%. He had issues.
You know what I mean? All of these things, but yet no one's saying anything because he's the guy who pays.
Yes, he pays them. Which is so, so sad. And even the scene where the cake scene and stuff, and then the friend or one of the singers is like, "I'm out. You only have to do it to me once and I'm done." I felt that was, again, another very important line. She was just like, "Tina, what's going on? How are you going to deal with this?" And for him to act like, oh my God, it was just that scene stresses me out so much. I just can't deal.
I'm glad she said, "You only have to do it to me once and I'm out." Like, I'm not staying for this over and over again. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's about respecting yourself. And I don't think Tina learned how to, because look at her mum.
No, and this is where the importance of sisterhood as well comes into it, because only when she went to go see her and she did that whole like Buddha chant and that scene, she found like solace, but also she found like a true friend to kind of like be there, like that support that she kind of hasn't had. And that girl had to take herself out of that situation in order to be that support that Tina kind of needed in there. So I definitely think your camp around you is extremely important.
Big time. And it's sad that, it took her that long to kind of find the strength in herself. But I think we all are very happy about this limo scene. The limo scene is the scene of all scenes.
Ever. If I had to pick
like
top 10 scenes ever,
it's in there.
Scene, when she hits back
It's when she looks at him and she's like, is that all you've got? And then she charges. Oh, so wonderful.
I love the fact that she's like wearing all white and then you can just see the splatters of blood. And when they walk into the hotel, that is probably one of the most iconic, I don't know, walking into a hotel that you will ever see in your life, because it was just like everyone, there's blood everywhere. She's mashed up, he's mashed. I was like, are you not all right? It just acted like this is, oh my God, it was.
But also for me, it was very typical Black people, like, just like everything's cool.
It was so
everything's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Nothing happened.
Like his nose was over there. There was blood. It was all going on. And they walked in. And she was like, Turner.
Yeah. That scene, I think I can watch that scene alone from when they get to the limo to the hotel over and over again. And then obviously leading up to when she like runs away and goes to the other hotel when she's mashed up. And I cry every time that guy says to her, don't worry, Miss Tina, it'll be
that man.
God bless you.
Oh man.
God bless that man. Whoever that man is.
Running across the road. I mean, they were in LA. No, they were in Vegas. I've been to LA. I just know the roads are wide. So that dash across the road, no looking, no lights. That was almost a suicide attempt in itself. Yeah. And then you made it to the hotel and then you just literally start getting naked. Whatever I have, you can have. Just keep me safe. And that was just... through it, man. You have to respect her.
100%.
I'll take anything from Tina at this point. Anything.
Oh, listen. Anything. There's some people that can get away with literally murder, but like she can just do whatever she wants. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. It's Tina.
I'll be behind there and be like, excuse me, can we just blame Ike?
It was Ike.
Yes, it was definitely Ike. Such a good film, man.
How would you feel about a remake, an updated version of that? Maybe.
I would only be happy with it if I was cast
as Tina.
I don't know as Tina. I don't know if I'm there yet. That would be such a challenge. I mean, it would be, I would say yes if they offered it to me, but the challenge on that would be massive, because as an actor, you're supposed to draw into like previous moments of your own life if you want to like, get your tears on cue and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I just don't know if I've got anything that deep for me to be. I mean, I was dumped that one time, but I wasn't.
To bring that to the surface.
Take me to new places. It's similar to the guys who did that film When They See Us. They went through so much mentally.
I feel that.
During and after. Yeah.
I can feel that through, because I watched it once and my brain and heart can never watch it again, because that broke me like on so many levels. And
even down to the dad dying of guilt. That whole dying of guilt bit, and even like the son still being angry at him, there was so much. Like even like when you watch it, you can see, your dad fucked up, but your dad wasn't smart enough to understand what the situation was.
Yeah,
and B wasn't in a position to change it, which is sad, but it's unfortunate because it's the position Black people were put in. Yes. You weren't allowed in libraries, you weren't allowed to be smart or educated, so they kept at a certain level. So unfortunately, circumstances meant your dad couldn't be the father he needed to be in that moment. I felt like after a while, like you've got your own kids now, surely you must understand. But listen, I weren't in it, so I can't.
Also that's trauma though. So that's trauma that's going to be carried on, because he felt let down, abandoned, and, misled by his parents. He could only do what they could at the time. Do you know what I mean? With the knowledge that they had. And also we're drummed in our head that, the police are right and the authority is right, and you must have done something wrong. You're just thinking,
you must be the criminal they're saying you are.
Criminal, yeah. And so there's all of those things that play a part, and you could just see how the system and environment just let all those boys down. And even when you see them talking as grown men, you can still see obviously the pain, how that's affected them, how that's affected their relationships. I was just like, frigging hell, like this is...
The only one that I think has come out of it all right is the doctor.
Is that the nation?
That's the only one. Yeah.
Of Islam, yes. But I think that's because of his mum. Like you could see from the film, like she was the only one really.
She was educated. And so he was the only one that came out on bail as well. So he didn't spend as much time in prison as the rest of them.
Yes, exactly.
But Corey, the one who was the adult who, girl.
Corey's story.
Girl.
I have to excel. I have to excel.
Yeah.
I have to excel, like, because I was holding.
You have to laugh, otherwise you'll cry. You
have to. And then when you see him talk as well now, I was just like, wow. Wow. All I could say was wow. And bet you're a better human being than me, because I would have probably come out and just wild out everyone. Everyone, that's it. Like,
everyone's dying.
Everyone's dying.
Everyone's dying. Everyone's dying.
So mad.
Everyone's dying.
Hate and anger. And it would have been warranted. But man's just come out and he's just so, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think sometimes also when I look at them, I think you must get to a point in life where just to have a little bit of peace, you just have to say, do you know what? I accept that and I'm moving on. Otherwise you're constantly fighting, you know?
Which is something I think you learn in life of, like, you just have to accept some things in order to move on and to grow and be better, I guess, and not kind of hold on to that.
And I think Tina can afford to probably do a little bit more of that if she's still offended by the film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
because
I think
if your only argument is that you don't want to look weak, it's like, baby girl, in that moment, that's exactly what you were, and don't be ashamed of it.
Yeah,
we all
and
have
it's
those
also
moments that we grow from.
Yeah, and it highlights, and it's a warning to other women as well to see these red flags and to get out early, and before it gets to that point where you feel like you can't, or you forget, you don't even realize that you are a victim. You know, which is completely fine and normal to say. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed of that. I'm not sure who I would want to play Tina today. I don't know.
See, I would have gone for Viola.
But she's not. But you'd have to you just start at a certain age, because
I would want to start where we left off last time. So we left her when, I tried to come for her that last time in the dressing room. Couldn't penetrate her, even with the flowers. She told him, I'm a new person now, piss off.
Yeah. And when he even tried
stage, and did what's I've got to do with it. Let's start there. What happened next?
Because I would have said Keke Palmer in terms of maybe something around similar, because she has that, she can sing and she's got that energy, and I feel like she could really do that performance thing on lock. And I've seen her sing a few times with Jennifer Lewis, which is awesome. So that's quite.
Keke's a really good entertainer, really talented young lady. But I think for me, with the film, I'd want to see what happens next. Like, what's now? Has Ike tried to reach out over the years? Do they have a relationship now? They have kids.
He died. Didn't he die?
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead now.
Yeah.
I was going to say, thank God, but that's not nice. But he's dead now. But like, it took a while for him to die.
Yeah. And also
become friends again. Like, what happened? Where were we? What were we doing? I'd love to know that part.
Yeah, I think one thing that burns me is the fact that she'll never get the royalties for anything she did pre-1980 because of the divorce settlement of assets. And he still, for me, I was like, he still got the last laugh, because he still ended up getting all her hard work as well. And, yes, she kept the name and she was still able to go on and be successful. But I think that does burn me a little bit.
I think, for me, I understood her method to her madness.
Yeah, 100%.
Because if she had kept anything, that would have given him more reason to stay in her life, more reason to go through fights and through courts and through left and through right. By doing that, she literally cut it dead. It was like umbilical cord, cut, done, separated.
Yeah,
you can't trouble her now.
And he couldn't hold anything over her head to be like, she just has her name.
Any new money was all of her money.
Yeah, exactly.
So however she's living now is all from her hard work. He can't claim any of it. So I don't know. Yeah, it's irritating. Like the spiteful witch in me would be like, oh my God, no. I want half of the royalties. I want houses. I want CSAT. I want chauffeurs. But then when you start sitting down and thinking about it, you got to think to yourself, is that even worth the trauma, the lifelong trauma that I'll have to go through dealing with this man? Do you know what I mean? It just wouldn't be worth it.
you can see she's tried to probably get away from that as far as possible. Like, she's remarried. This was 27 years ago, this film, and she now lives in Switzerland. It's like, that is as far away from
as
anime as
she's
you
not even in America no more.
No, exactly. She's having a good life, enjoying herself in Switzerland, breathing in that clean air. But
right?
Do you know what I mean? I definitely think there's a possibility that they should do a part 2, a sequel to her life. I mean, Beyonce would definitely be like, bitches, I'm playing that. Beyonce would be like, how dare you?
Not even Beyonce. Beyonce's mum needs to play. She looks like Tina so much.
So much. Oh my God.
So badly.
Isn't her name Tina? Am I just making that up? What's her name?
It's just Tina Knowles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. When you see her, you're like, shit then. Wow. Yeah. That would explain why Beyonce was on this thing so hard. Because she had a personal Tina Turner in her house.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I know we've spoken about so many amazing scenes in this film, but if you had to direct someone to YouTube who hasn't watched this film and to entice them to watch it, what scene would it be?
Oh, that's a hard one, because you don't want to just throw trauma in someone's face, because the good scenes are quite traumatic.
Yes, exactly.
So I wouldn't be like, come and watch this film. Oh, by the way, if you want to be enticed, go and look at the singing booth shot. It's not... Yeah. That's not where you want to go. I think I might entice them by showing them, like, when they do the montages of them doing different shows.
Different gigs, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And the different routines and all that kind of stuff. I think I'd give a full sense of, this is a really good film.
Yeah.
Look at how fun it is. Oh my God, they've got sequins and they're dancing and there's wigs and they're singing and it's all wonderful. And then strap them into the chair. and then press play. And then be like, oh yeah, by the way, that was like 10% of the movie.
literally, I found it difficult to think about this, because I was like, every scene that you're drawn to is the trauma scene. In fact, there's a lot of trauma throughout the whole film. And although that the rape booth scene is one of the worst things you'll ever see, honestly, the depiction of that is horrendous. I think I probably would pick while she's in the studio singing that song to get an essence of, still singing and stuff, and then maybe cut it just before he hits her, or maybe after the first slap.
Oh,
and cut it there.
As he opens the door to the booth, and she's like, Ike, and he comes in and he charges.
Yeah, like just cut it there. Yeah, because you're like, okay, actually, what's going to happen? Because you can see that something's building up. I found that very difficult, because it was like everything I could think of. It was like horrible.
Yes.
It's not fun.
The things that we talk about are, like, we've just spent this whole time talking about mostly traumatic scenes. Rape scene, limo scene, even down to the scene where she's trying to take the kids away, talking about her mum, do you know what I mean? It's just so many scenes of her trying to get away from this guy. That are poignant scenes, because the acting is incredible in it. It's a really fantastically short, directed, acted movie. It's brilliant. It's
honestly awesome. Directed by a British director, Brian Gibson. And see that, like, many stuff. He's directed that Salma Hayek film, Frida Kahlo. But I don't understand. I don't know if it was because of the time and people weren't ready for her performance, or just weren't ready for that film. But it's just such an amazing movie that I just feel has not got the
respect
and the accolades that it needed to, because everyone brought it. Like, everyone, that whole film, it was just like brilliant and a masterpiece.
Fantastic. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she hadn't done anything like that, had she? I think that was like her first kind of dramatic.
Angela.
Yeah.
She'd done a few things, but that was her claim to fame almost.
No, that was like her like official.
Yes, that was Angela exists moment.
Yeah, she was like, I'm here.
And side note, still looks exactly the same today. Like, what's going on?
I can't be competing with a woman twice my age. Like, that's not fair. I don't understand. Like,
she's why I hate that black don't crack thing. I'm like, listen, talk to me when I'm 50. Right now, I'm young, innit? Don't talk to me about nothing else. I don't want to know.
Her and Tina, that whole them women, they just
look amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
I see her in she's in a show called 911. And she looks Angela looks it's so disrespectful.
It's too much. I mean, no one knows what she was doing 50 Cent, but we'll move on from that. But it's too much.
Angela Bassett, you're not talking about...
Was dating 50 Cent?
No, she wasn't. She's married. No, you're talking about Vivica.
Oh, I am talking about Vivica.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, wait. I am. Oh my God, wait.
Hang on. Don't say that to me. What? Angela would never. Angela knows better. It
looks like I just broke your heart. How could she cheat on Courtney for 50 cents?
She's a married woman.
And that's how black people spread propaganda. Okay?
You're just spreading rumours here. She's married.
I said it with all of my chest, like I was very confident.
You were there. I was like, I had to think for a minute. I was like, have I missed something? My life? Where was I? What was I doing? Yeah, no. Angie's good. She's good.
Angela looks amazing, and I love her romance with Courtney.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're so
the best team ever.
They just love them. He's in Lovecraft Country. I don't know if you've been watching that, which is...
I've tried to start it, but I can't get through it, the first episode.
Oh, babes, honestly, hold on. Just get through like a couple of episodes. You will get your head around it. It's just, I think the reason why people are finding it difficult is that Black people in sci-fi fantasy settings is not the norm.
It's not the norm.
So
but it's not the norm for me to watch sci-fi fantasy anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like I'm just... Okay, see now. It's a lot, man.
It is a lot.
I want to get into it because I'm missing out on so much conversation in the world.
Yeah.
Everything is Lovecraft at the moment. And I already missed the other ones. What's the other ones that were really big?
Watchmen.
Didn't watch that.
Oh,
I didn't watch The Wire. I didn't watch... Girl, there's a lot. I missed a lot of conversation.
We're going into a second lockdown, so you've got time now.
I've got time. I got time. And watch me. I'm going to come back and I'm going to be on this thing. I'm coming back onto this podcast and I'm going to talk about Lovecraft.
Yes, please do. Honestly, it's the
we got to do.
It's fantastic. But honestly, Thanyia, you have been amazing. I've loved you. And I'm so glad we got to talk to a woman about what's love got to do with it, because honestly, there's just a certain perspective that we just get. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Men don't think the way we think, and if no one does it, I want to come back and talk about juice.
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah. Love juice.
No one does juice. I want to come back and talk about juice. Juice is something else.
Yes, I mean, it had 2-pack, so that's.
I mean, no one gets it. 2-pack.
I don't understand.
2-pack. Like a whole 2-pack.
A whole.
Like all of him. In a main role.
I'll never forgive that person because they just took... 2-pack was my babe. 2-pack was...
He was everything. In my mind, he was married to me and we had a good relationship. I married him.
I think that's how we all felt. We were just like, he loved me.
He loved me. He loved me so much. Like, I don't think even he understood how good our relationship was.
Guy had all
and whenever they would have that, whenever there was that like Biggie 2-pack argument, I'm like, what am I missing?
Are you mad?
Why is this even an argument? But the truth of the matter is I think 2-pack was just sex symbol. And Biggie, he was better at rapping. Let's just make it clear.
I mean...
shit.
I'll always go 50-50, you know. But
now that I'm listening to it lyrically, like big... Lyrically.
He's got bars for days. And he wasn't just like a hip hop artist. He was so more bigger than that, you know. And he kind of started off, I think, that transition into the mainstream and all of that stuff. And because you hear,
don't get me wrong, I'm not saying 2-pack was rubbish, because 2-pack was good. And like we can never ever put down the song Changes ever. That's always going to be a thing. Right.
What I loved about 2-pack is the fact that he had the conscious side as well. Like he would be gangster, but he had the the conscious
Mum being
side.
a Black Panther really fucking helped put him through his paces in early life. So yeah.
You're more than welcome to come on. I would love to have you on again, and we can talk about views, lovecraft, whatever you want to talk about. I'm down.
Do it. Let's do it.
I wish you the best of luck with your career. And
Thanks, guys.
2021 is amazing. It's been a lot with you.
I hope we have a 2021, and I hope we all have an amazing 2021.
Thanyia, don't. You can't.
Listen, I'm trying to be positive, but I just genuinely think it's going to start in April. And even then, it's going to start in the middle of the fucking rain. So I'm just going to be... You still can't even flex. You got to wait till next summer to be able to flex.
I got summer dresses that I had ready, right? That I just had to skip over and just continue wearing the tracksuit ones.
Some of my outfits I put on, taking photos just for the post. Because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to even be this size next year. My weight fluctuates, guys. It fluctuates.
On top of that.
Not all the time gym. Sometimes a gin. Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes a gin, okay?
Sometimes a gin.
I'm here for an amaretto. An amaretto on the rocks is a bit of me. That's what makes me happy.
Sometimes I'm scared of brown liquor. I call it get pregnant liquor. Brown liquor is that stuff that you drink and then you forget some shit. And then you spend the next week trying to figure it out. By that time, you're pregnant. You don't know what's going on. Right?
Spice rum.
You can't even get the morning after pill. You're pregnant. That's you. You're done. That's get pregnant, Nika. Let me just stick to my gin, yeah? I can't. When I'm feeling saucy, I have a red wine. That's it.
Oh, okay. See, red wine's to mellow out. I'm Ugandan, and we've got a drink called waraji, which is like it's like a gin. And so a lot of people don't know about it. And I think I must have saw Miss Banks have it on there. She's half Ugandan, which is just like, I was like, oh my God, someone knows about this drink. And so that's why a lot of UGs will drink gin, because it's like the closest thing to waraji.
Oh, that's interesting.
Next time I'm in one of those shops, I'll pick one up for you. And if that's one of your shows, I'll give it to you so you can have a taste.
Please do. And I mean, it won't be much of an exchange, but I'll bring a Magnum.
Magnum, it's fine. I love the Magnum. It's cool. It's
awesome.
I love it. I love how Magnum has just become the norm as well. Everyone's just out here sipping.
Everyone's just drinking it like it's normal, regular wine. I'm like, are we out here just all trying to get pregnant? Have I missed a memo somewhere? There's something I've missed.
Dangerous. Magnum's dangerous. It
is, and you have the first one, and it's like when you go to Amsterdam, you have an edible and be like, I don't feel nothing. I'm going to have more. That's the worst thing.
Don't do it. Don't listen to yourself. Just stop. Just stop there. Something's happening in the background. You're just unaware of it. Just
listen. It was lovely talking to you, babes. And if this does go on YouTube, just put in the captions that my eyelashes are on the table.
You look beautiful. Stop it.
Eyelashes are on the table. I feel very naked, and I haven't got anything on my face. So they're just going to have to accept it as it is.
You look gorgeous. Don't worry.
Thank you, darling.